Why does Pennsylvania have so many Dutch, Amish farmers? Quick plug, like and share. Now, let's clarify one thing immediately. The people who are referred to as the Pennsylvania Dutch are not exclusively of Dutch descent, but a mix of two distinct groups: Mennonites, who get their name from the Dutch priest Menno Simons, but predominantly immigrated from the Swiss states to Pennsylvania, and the Amish, a group who broke off from the Mennonite movement, and was founded by the Swiss, Jacob Ammon, with its members predominantly immigrating from the Swiss states, the Alsace region and the Palatinate region, meaning that the majority of the Pennsylvanian Dutch were Germanic, not Dutch. So why the name? Because Yanks can't differentiate between Germans and Netherlanders, one who calls themselves Deutsche, from the High German dialect, with two E's, an I, and an S, while the other calls themselves Dutch, with a U. Side note: technically Dutch people usually refer to themselves as Nederlanders, but since most people don't know what that is, it's easier to say that they are Dutch or they are from Holland. So, the Pennsylvania Dutch became the Pennsylvania Dutch. But why there? Why did they all move to Pennsylvania? Well, much like the Quakers, for who the Oats brand used their likeness to sell food unrelated to them, they moved to the region because when William Penn, for who the state gets its name from, the state offered a freedom from religious persecution, and a vast amount of land where they could settle. Notably, they focused on working with the natives. This is because, barring the fancy Dutch, the Quakers were evangelicalists, while the Amish and the Mennonites were Anabaptists. As they were not Roman Catholic, except for some of the fancy Dutch, the persecution of Protestants was prevalent throughout Middle and Southern Europe. So the option of moving to America, where they could create a community to farm and practice their beliefs, was an almost no-brainer. As these different groups of vaguely German people immigrated and settled in the Pennsylvania state, a collective term was given to identify them. Since they called themselves Dutch, which sounded like Dutch, and they lived in Pennsylvania, they were called the Pennsylvania Dutch. Which answers the question,